already working down short right now. They're playing on attack side, Loud is. And you could see the misdirection that the double controller can bring. Viper wall up towards the side, Cascade coming in, Dog as well.
Fade catching everything as JCZ still stunned, still delivers the shot. Gets a second too, the third just around the corner, not able to deliver. Still numbers in favor of the defensive side. The problem is they're all on the opposite side of the map. They're gonna show up and the spike may already be down. Patience though, prudence from Kawanzin as he finally plants. The Flash gonna get so much info, he's gonna swing around, forget about waiting. He wants to take the fight to their doorstep! And it's the ace for Kawanzin!
I can be so much more. I'm kind of stunned.
Second ace of Americas. And you saw in the pre-show, Kawanzin has the opportunity and has had massive clutches in the past of 1v5. And this one, an ace with a 1v2 added into it. Picks up the frenzy. And just makes it work. Unbelievable. So casual too. Just take a sip. And that's a huge, I mean, just winning the pistol and may be able to convert the first 2 rounds here is huge. I think this comp is actually fairly defense-sided on Haven.
Oh, that's one spotted. And even with the spam, it's actually RGL who's able to take care of one. Preserves his life for now, ultimately meets his demise. Haunt cleared out, they try to swing around it, and Aspat's just still too good.
The oppression continues as well. No one able to get out of spawn with those double cascades.
And as the round fades, Aspas gets 4. Loud with 2. Dominance.
Well, this is what I was talking about, though. 2 rounds right off the bat. Surely they'll get a couple more gun rounds as we get to those. That is ridiculous. I knew a couple of their runs to Masters throughout that was without losing a map. But that is crazy. 28-1. This is the first one where it ever happened. For the first map of Americas, that's a good sign for these Brazilian teams.
Yeah, 1000% heat. Get cheeky. He rewarded for the cheekiness. Oh, he tried getting a third.
Also almost got away. That was him throwing a satchel at the end. But if Pistol taught us anything, is these players are still so dangerous. Kawanzin and Aspas, the players who got the 4K and the ace in the rounds prior, are both gone though.
They have the vast majority of their kills too, I think. There's not much left distributed among the remaining members. You're absolutely right. The Prowler there. Miri's waiting to breach utility. Fault line opting to go short with the smoke long. Less battered and bruised.
Great sectioning off the site right there for Mibr. The stun on short and the smoke lands right at the same time from RGL. For that swing to be a lot safer.
You got to be careful here if you're Loud, right? I mean, FRC has taken so much space and you really have no idea of it. Check the wrong side.
He doesn't have an escape here though. Has to fight straight up.
30 seconds left.
He may not need one, Bala.
Spike down mid.
11 HP. The help is starting to rotate over. Sadek eventually cleans him up.
Love that from Sadek, making sure he can take that fight. Knows that that's 1 kill out of 4 that he'll need.
Waiting to see if anyone will challenge. He still has 10 seconds left. Plenty of time to think this one through.
Sticks the plant now. Oh, wait, no. That's it. Actually has to get this plant down now, too. At least get an orb for this.
Yeah, get some plant money.
Great anti-bonus again. Mibr has done a great job converting those. While the pistols haven't been great, I think they're now lost 1 out of 5 so far in the series. Sorry, 1 out of 4. But every single time they're able to clap back and at least stop this onslaught that Loud has the potential of putting on. And that was all heat at the beginning of that round. Getting those first 2, falling back.
Or attempting to, anyway, yeah. Either way here, the spike's still back at Swan.
And look at this from Mibr. They've swapped the KJ actually on towards A. It's a very, very unconventional setup, at least in pro play. Because with that, with a KJ playing on A, you're giving up so much space. It's a feint towards B right now. 3 players up there, but the spike not in their hands. They're just exploring, seeing what they can hear in that smoke as the high tide goes down. At the same time as well, C information is getting denied with the orb at the top of C long and the wall coming through as well. That flash, a lot of times you're using it to clear information there, make sure there's nobody playing Cubby so you can slow walk up, but it also gives you a tell. RGL certainly heard that down short.
Well, even with that, they're not rotating a ton. Seekers used, Harbor wall up.
They can't get through that now. That molly really doesn't do anything to delay too much.
30 seconds left.
Much cheaper mollies. Aspas is trying to spam through that wall. The cascade there too.
Sadok's got his pit, but Heat has a response here in the showstopper. He has to come back down through spawn because look how deep it's actually protruding.
I mean, I still don't know that you can find an easy way in. Even with that, how does he commit to it? He's gonna go through. The nade is there. He gets so far out and he goes unpunished. Finds 2 massive kills.
Last player standing.
And the rest of the team's able to clean it up. Kantui's clutch out. This 1v3. With position concealed, he's only able to get 1. FRZ, the defuse, the lockdown online as well as MIBR tie us up at 2 apiece.
This has turned into an insanely competitive series. Expectation at the beginning of the day, for sure, all Loud favored. But MIBR, what a good pivot from them. They get the stun, they get the paranoia as well, and he gets a second?
Enemy remaining.
Not only that, but he targets Sadok so well, knowing based off the pit where he's gonna be tucked away. I mentioned it being a counter. That was a hard counter.
Get out of my way.
Seems like, looked like there was a C's nade combo towards A main. Or at least just the C's.
Danger for RGL.
That paranoia hit almost everyone. It may have hit every single player there. Aspas falls. The defensive line still holding. RGL turning away the flash, still position concealed. They don't know where he is. And he's just going to be able to tee off on the members that remain.
What?
How did Kamanzin get 2? Sadok's here as well.
Enemy remaining. Spike down.
Yeah, surely. I mean, for as flashy as that 2K was, that's still a very difficult situation to win out.
Loud missed the orb. Sadok missed his Viper orb in the middle of sight there. That should give access for the players to walk out on site and not worry about back plat. But instead, RGL has a field day with that. Shh.
And he was there the entire time. One round lead for MIBR. Lockdown still in play for FRZ.
Satchel out here. They're going to go fast with the haunt. And the stun smoke if he gets a tag, which he doesn't. He's going to spam through that smoke. Cool idea from MIBR, but the pivot is coming in fast over towards B. Every time RGL's getting such a nasty paranoia off these players and delaying everything. And the thing as well with this composition, the only thing, in a lot of Loud's comps, the only way to get in is with a flash from Kawanzin. He has to use one for map control and then one for the execute. Now they have to wait. They don't have any more go keys. But look at the switch on the Viper orb from Sadok. He actually uses it to pop back up over towards A. Allows them to cross without anybody. And especially once he starts to get an op potentially in the hands. Give up the information anyways, though.
Toxins going up.
Close by. Waiting, trying to make a play. No, he falls. He's a little bit ahead of it. The Reckoning used and the Nightfall used in exchange as the Tendrils trying to tether on to everyone that's on the site. Kawanzin trading it out. Reckoning pushing back space as the lockdown used as well.
30 seconds left.
4v3 here in favor of Loud. Murray's trying to delay. Spike's still planted.
They might get significantly locked down.
Dude, they know where they are, if nothing else.
Cascade to help him get out, though. And all of a sudden, the situation has shifted. Oh, the stun by the dog.
They're able to get 1. RGL still playing back. They're just playing so far off. There's no real post plant. or anything like that. All they have is their guns, and that might be enough. It is. Loud tie us back up at 3.
Beautiful couple of pieces there. From both sides. Ultimately coming down to the execute. With the Reckoning. Heat just dry swinging, knowing that the hit's about to come in. Reckoning, Trailblazer, everything coming in. Getting so much stun value off. I think one of the only choices you have there as MIBR is to try to get a half on that stick while the smoke's up, but you're talking a 2v3 with spam coming into you. While one player's occupied defusing, stun nade, sees as well. And then right back through it. That cascade has denied so much information. And note as well the economy for MIBR right now. FRZ has no util.
And they also don't have very much presence A. After using the smoke, the haunt, the nade, the seize, everything to fight for A main, they rotate away. And Loud were just glad to take the space. They just wait the utility out, and then they just march forward. Now the Spike's playing it. Heat's the only one with the rifle. JCC does have a little something to him, but it's not much. What value can Heat find? There's one down. Oh, clean shots out from Sadak.
No more tools here though. Breach has 2 flashes, doesn't really want to use them on the eco.
That's the 3rd person who's handled that Bulldog in this round. And a couple of kills go its way. But Loud equalizes nonetheless.
Make sure to follow my package.
Last 2 rounds solid for Loud. I think they might have taken the last map personally. Again, MIBR being the first Brazilian team to take a map off of them. Since this team has formed, honestly. A ridiculous stat. A ridiculous streak. But the job's not done for MIBR, and this start is significantly different from Lotus.
Well, of course, coming up from the crowd. That's so you have. Once again, you've got Heat with the showstopper. A couple of key ults too. Muri's his Rolling Thunder to work with. But, you know, you made a really good point a couple of rounds ago, Ball. It feels like all of the engage tools, all of the go buttons, if you will, for Loud, all rests in Kawanzin's hands. The Seeker, no different.
Well, I think as well, synchronizing that with Tui's. His cascades are such an instrumental tool for Loud in the last couple of months with this meta adaptation that they put. They're going fast towards C here. FRZ has actually swapped to the side.
It's not just that it's fast, but there are also 2 walls. Make that a 3rd as it just now hits. Rolling Thunder's gonna hit just about everyone once again. MIBR showing excellence in delaying with the utility that they have. Tui's the first to fall. And there's a flank coming around. That alarm bot, and then the Prowler too. Heat wanting for more, gunning for another kill. As Aspas tried getting up top, ultimately falls anyway.
Nice nade, sees, he's dead.
Enemy remaining.
Bold on the swing out, had to make a play, had to do something. MIBR with an excellent response out of the timeout.
Incredible.
I mean, Loud are getting pushed.
Yeah. And that's a call out of the timeout that you're trying to up the pace, trying to surprise them, trying to break the idea. Because a lot of times, when you're calling a timeout, when you're one of the coaches, you're talking about the standard stuff that's going on. You're talking about the default, how you can abuse those things. And so, the coaches tend to call very fast strats to disrupt that. Something surprising, something that you didn't really consider in the timeout as the defensive-sided team.
Alarm bot out.
And that one cost them a little bit. So Loud return to basics. I think here you're seeing, you've got the lockdown, you've got the Viper Spit. Both can combo to become a very destructive force. And this time Heat does not have his ult yet. Used it 2 rounds ago.
There's a Prowler and a Seize though, but they've cleared past main. Fault line from Mibr is held for the time being. Is the Cascade the Q? They haven't cleared short out here. And they have to, surely. Less stuck on the other side of it.
You spot this, yes! One player at least on the left.
The timing's a little weird here. Les can't join at this point. He's got a haunt. The short is still not covered, and you've got two members from Mibr who's currently posted up there.
They're pinched though. And look at the space that you actually get from this.
They have
on the pit.
They have
Sonic, where are you going?
There's the pit. The pit's down. So's the leader for Loud. Flash out as he tried to waterfall out of heaven. And it works, at least for now. They've established some control on the site. The nade, just a bit deep. What can Les do? Can he stop Heat in this 1v2?
Satchel out.
Satchel to clear one side. No idea that the other was around the corner. Loud take the lead back.
No stopping now. Not until the job is done.
And the scary thing I keep bringing up, the sidedness of certain comps, and for me, seeing a double controller on Haven, I consistently think of the massive halves we've had. And the kinsmen of Loud, Fury, who ran a very similar comp, Harbor Viper on this map, against Fnatic, back at lock-in. It's a 9-3 on defense. And that's not to say that it's a bad attack-sided comp. I think obviously you're seeing Loud play very good with it so far. But the defense, though. So as the scoreline continues to develop, if this becomes a 8-4, even a 7-5, I get very concerned about Mibr's chances.
Yeah. As we saw in the previous round or 2 rounds ago, 2 walls invested towards C.
Nice little cross here from Mibr. Slow walked as well, so information very difficult to make the read if you're less.
RGL trying to play some mind games. I don't think there's anyone close enough to even hear it, to be honest. The Reckoning used the Paranoia to delay. It does hit a couple, but the Trailblazer should give you a cue that you can work your way forward.
Oh, less in trouble.
Yes, he is. FRC just decapitates him.
And now they don't have information that there's a double flank. They're not going to actually use that, though. Opt to group up.
Are they going to try to fight out of this? Yeah, they are. They're going to flash out and push through, and RGL's in trouble. A second flash down as you see him tuck, scatter, try to find safety. Second Prowler used, as now they're starting to push their way back. But look at how far Aspas is. Even if they try to push out a garage, try to get back into C, Aspas can control it.
Ooh. One enemy remaining.
This is clinical from Loud.
Selling points.
They're just so contained. Tui's. He gets every single time, he gets 2 high tides off. One for the execute and then one in the post plant. That one blocking both garage and spawn. And then you have the mix-ups too that you can use with it. The flash from Cowan Z, you can just push into spawn through the wall. You never have an idea that it's coming. Comboing as well, that Reckoning execute is so difficult. The Cowan Z, Trailblazer, and the Reckoning, you're definitely getting somebody stunned. You have to fall off. We've already seen it on the A side, finding value from the stuns. Because you have to dodge the pulses and whatever utility's coming out.
And in the instance you were just describing, that's just if it's just the dog, right? If there's more that's dumped that way, it gets so much more difficult.
Yeah, you're talking mollies.
Nades, I mean everything. Sadak, the rest allowed, finding a ton of space B. And once again, not satisfied with what they have. They want more.
Look at the space that they just got. The Trailblazer and the orb, the Viper orb falling in A-Link. They just fall off of it though, but as soon as you put that up, Sadak, he just did. That's so much time.
Well, and you're just setting the line of scrimmage further back. So now any utility that you would normally use to get on a site, you have to use to clear the orb first, and then you have less.
Honestly, Mibr, like, they're just potentially just gonna try to die to Spike here.
Yeah. This round felt like it was done
Wait,
a while ago.
They're gonna have to focus on the spam right now.
Just fine, they have plenty of numbers to do that. But things going back and forth like that isn't great.
Oh.
Sadak and, I mean, really, all of Loud still have plenty of money, so it's all right that they dropped a couple there.
Yeah, it's last round of the half. I'm looking at Tui's getting 3 kills in that. I was mentioning how they might just want to go down to Spike, and that's because if Tui's gets another ult in this round,
is that third?
It's a third Reckoning, and that's an execute that's so powerful, so that's a scary thought. And Les is still not finding a way to use this lockdown. Just because most of the time he's tethered to the lurk, tethered to the flank hold as well.
What's this?
Yep, this is a free orb for Tui's right here.
Blades in and op. First peek sees nothing. The flash out through the smoke.
Yep. RGL's TPing off right now.
Oh, the orb's not going to Tui's. They went to Kamanzi, now they have the
He's
Seekers.
one off Seekers, so. Both tools so good for executes. Just the freedom that you have after popping Seekers, you can still do so much.
Seek them.
One for the C split, there's 3 players here. Muriz is one of them. He's been so pivotal to stun them as they push through.
He hit his ult, but he was stunned, he was blind, he never gets to use it! The Nightfall eventually invested, but it may just be too little too late.
And the plant's going to Tui's. He just got a kill. He's got the Reckoning now.
I mean, the round may be done before it even matters. FRZ is going to use the lockdown.
And Les died as well. Didn't use it for like 5 rounds, and it's not a factor. It doesn't even matter.
Bring them down.
Aspas should be able to get away. No one's going to get detained.
They've got no smoke to actually cover and force the defuse.
Enemy remaining.
With this op, it's looking impossible.
Yeah, there's that Reckoning that we were referring to a couple of moments ago. That was the second ding, but that's all it's going to be. You mentioned Bala a couple of rounds ago. You were worried for MIBR if it was 7-5, if it was 8-4. Even 6-6 doesn't necessarily feel great. And 8-4 half out aloud, knowing that they're going to the defensive side, knowing they have the double controller comp, that sounds like raps.
I think it's going to be really difficult for MIBR. The surprises that you can throw out with this comp are way too numerous to count.
It almost just feels like too much.
You would have thought that this would have been the first opportunity for this to actually happen, given the fact that they lost 2 of their star players in Sasi and Pancata. You would have thought this would have been the opportunity for a first Brazilian victory over Loud. But after locking, those thoughts disappear.
Dude, check out this defensive setup from Loud. With the double controls that we've talked about so much, you have to invest utility to get into short, and then you're going to have to clear every single pocket that's left by the Viper wall.
And he's using one too. Sadak. He's right behind.
They're gonna go. Patience, doesn't spam, doesn't control it. So clean, so meticulous, and so devastating out of Loud. The flawless round to give them a 5-round lead.
4 frenzies there from Loud. And they just stormed him down. I have to say, very disappointing from MIBR to just go straight for an A push. Given the danger. I mean, we even saw it in the Furia game when we watched this type of comp. How devastating it is to go through this Viper wall. Everybody's decayed there. Everybody's 50 HP down. You barely have to touch him with that frenzy.
You just look at him funny.
And especially when you have a very util heavy comp. Like they do. They have 2 initiators. All of those guys are not getting armor.
It's interesting here. I mean, FRZ is able to get past the first bit of util, the first wall.
He's stuck now. I mean, between 2, yeah. That wall is so cool too. Garage blocked, some of like grass blocked. Nobody's gonna play that. They're using the alarm bot instead. But then top of short too. Which is interesting because it kind of breaks this crossfire, but you're seeing a 3.1. Aspas has got the Marshall. Then you've got Kaunzin close. Then you've got Tui's as well who can spam through and use a cascade to get Kaunzin out.
Oh, they are walking right into that crossfire that you were just alluding, and there's a flash that opens things up.
Yeah.
And this looks, yep, just as clean as it's been.
If they ever get into trouble, ooh, actually, look at FRZ. He's broken what I believe the alarm button, and they didn't call it.
Oh dear.
Player standing.
They know where he is now.
Down A.
Position given away. Shots continue to go wide.
God, these guys are ride or die for each other. Look at Tui, he's just getting in there, throwing the cascade. That's Sadic's opportunity to escape. The utility for each other is so good. This is feeling like Split right now.
Yeah.
Again,
Yep.
MIBR struggling on the pistol.
Six-round lead for Loud. And MIBR left looking for answers.
Time for a field test.
Not one player
Placing
positive.
swarm grenade.
And that hurts. Another variation of the wall.
Doesn't fully cut off. the grass players, but it does cut off the window, so you're super concerned. It also cuts off that turret. You're super concerned about a push down mid. But instead, this is 4 players on the bonus. What an idea.
Oh, FRZ, he spots everything. Gunfire erupting back in spawn as the kills get traded back and forth. Mibr with 2 massive ones. Give a slight numbers lead to MIBR. Les and Aspas are both so healthy, though.
Oh.
And Les is in a great spot. Oh. Boy, that was patience.
Could have costed him.
Yeah, it could have.
They're pivoting over towards C right now, I think. Yes. Turret spots him on the crossing garage there. And Aspas heard.
Spike planted.
I was gonna say, Les is in a really good spot. He's about to get blindsided. He's about to get sucker punched by Mibr. Yeah.
And they know where the last player is, so especially if they could buy time for another stun to come up from Mibr.
Oh, JCC's weak. Yeah. Aspas weak as well, though, as Mibr gets 4. MIBR win the round. That was close.
Again, though, reason why even Lotus, for example, went into MIBR's way is some of these important rounds. The bonus for Loud, not successful in any of these situations, and there's been plenty where they're actually going for it. Information all MIBR is there, knowing where Aspas is coming from, knowing where Les is going to play from. Gives him full reign to just flank. Let's see, this is where it gets tough though. Full guns on both sides. Aspas has that op.
Yeah, and he's peeking down long where 2 members of MIBR currently sit.
That high tide gets from A all the way to garage. It's so unbelievably powerful. Surprised to see them stick to this Viper wall though.
Aspas patient. Oh my gosh, I thought that was gonna blow his shoulder off.
Yeah, but because he misses that shot, Mibr gets away with his breach ult.
And now they know where the op is too.
And they're pivoting over towards A. Tells abound though. Sky Flash gets information. And they should play off of the site here. They should play proactively against the breach ult. They've rotated so much.
And it was off of that Sky Flash that you called. The second one now used, no info gathered. So what do Loud do here?
Loud are sticking to this. They really believe that this A hit is about to come. Wall cycled.
Find you.
That wall could be massive late in this post plant.
The alarm bot's still not triggered. He was able to satchel through it. Now popping off.
He's sticking the plant too.
Spike planted.
Slight detail, losing an orb there, but he's gonna breach ult from the site. Only one though, it's the wrong direction. All of Loud is coming from the other side.
And is it gonna be too much? Is it gonna overwhelm him? It looks like it will. It's a 50-50 guess, and unfortunately he goes the wrong way. FRZ though, off the paranoia, it could be good! But it's still not gonna matter. He sticks the defuse in the cove.
Remaining. Last player standing.
Way too overwhelming from Loud. And the breach ult just goes the wrong way, just the wrong guess. Didn't really use it off of any info. Just hopes that they're coming through C, but all the information that Loud garnered in that round was calling for them to rotate towards A, and that's what they did.
He's just so fortunate for things to pan out that way.
I have to say, Kawanzine getting so many stuns off the Trailblazers, just ridiculous.
Heavy aggression A. Look at that. 4 members over here. Aspas with the op. One of the trio that for a moment was pushing down long, but they've left him alone.
Yeah, remember they did this on the bonus, so now it's a pivot. Just set him up, set Aspas up with the op.
And then a judge on the other side. Oh, that was a Guardian.
And they heard it. They know what's going on. They know they've gotten a pick here too. And I love that from MIBR there, aftershocking that corner, making sure it's clear, making sure there's no judge able to be playing close. Oh, but Kawanzine, actually all of this, Tui's Sarak. RGL's watching this, and he's off the angle now, the turret's up there. Very difficult to actually block this with the utility that they have. They don't have any traditional smokers, but now they're pressured just by breaking it.
They know, but they're guessing. You just saw Flash go back too long to make sure there's no other flank to have to deal with. No other flank to be worried about. One player spotted.
Placing swamp grenade.
FRZ, remember, he's the one who had the opener. He falls. And now they're gonna have to rotate back. Look at RGL. He's in such a good spot, but he finds nothing. Meanwhile, the rest of MIBR are gonna try to push in through short.
And what is this retake wall that Sadak's put down too? He has full range to jump out.
The timing from Les has to be good here. He's able to section them off, suggesting if there's not a hit coming in from this way. And there's Les creeping forward, spotted. The Reckoning provides everything. JCZ with no push shot options, and JCZ does it with the frenzy.
What a hold. I mean, the elements there going for Loud were very, very high. We had the weird wall from Sadak, we had the flank, we got the Reckoning. But JCZ with the op picked up from Aspas, that early pick.
Huge.
Big 1v2. And there's still a chance.
3 ults to work with for the attacking side in the lockdown, the TP, and the Nightfall. Fight and swing mid, you see Loud try to take some space across that area of the map, pushed back. Cheeky Killjoy turret here too. Such a precarious spot.
Deep alarm bot just put down Sadak with a late wall on towards A. Just noise. That gives it all up. Hearing the satchel though towards C right now. A player isolated, FRC's in trouble. Teammate coming to help out.
Yeah, but you see MIBR wanting to take space on the opposite side. Yeah, Heat, excuse me, pushing forward, denying Loud room.
Spike planted. Flash out.
And now the spike down, FRZ perfectly safe from far away. I mean, if for Loud to get in this, it has to be off of Aspas's blades, right? They've got to be able to get a kill, something, find value there. Couple of share shots go wide, rattling off. You see another walking down from 2Es. What do they do with that? Just trying to trap them in, perhaps, get exits. I don't know. You're going to be able to funnel out through C long.
Just looking if Heat can get one more kill, and he won't. Successful anti-eco from MIBR. They're bringing it closer. Loud had a lot of buffer room moments ago, but now 2 in a row. And the money's still not even that great for them. Investing a little too much in the last round, just maybe hoping that Aspas can get something going with the knives. And then the rest of the sheriffs that were brought in that allow them forward. Four round the difference now.
You can see RGL set up in a spot, expecting aggression down C long. It does not look like that will be the case, at least yet.
So here you're looking at 2Es and Cow and Zine gonna pounce down short if Aspas spots something from the top of short.
Meanwhile, for MIBR, you have JZZ and you have Heat who have crept their way up mid. The alarm bot's gonna give the position away instantly. Harbor wall going down.
It's crazy that they got the timing there. And they will pivot back over towards A. I'm looking for Murias to move.
Placing swamp grenade.
He's trying to hold on until RGL comes through, but he's still deciding what to do on this round. Looks like a little bit of A presence, a little bit. Could spring the trap. And then pivoting back over towards C. Flash should give it up. Now Loud is gonna hard rotate off.
That Nightfall invested is not going to hit anyone. And now Les creeping up, while the rest of Loud.
That execute, man. Very
30
clean.
seconds left.
Yeah.
I swear, every time they go for the C execute, it looks really good. But Loud's just not even there to fight.
Planted.
Les clearing up the first. He sees where the lockdown is. They're going to try to overwhelm it. Can FRZ keep them back?
Oh,
No, both kills
they're
going in
breaking
favor of Loud, and there it goes. Lockdown done. Clean shots out from Miris.
This retake orb from Sadak too might cover the spike, might give a chance for them to defuse.
Oh, that timing could have been disaster. Just one going down.
Cove up too, they still have it.
3v2 here, 2Es
Not
on the
spamming
tap.
fast enough, the Cove's up.
He's gotten it to half. He's gonna stick it the whole way. 2Es is gonna stick it the whole way, and he succeeds. Loud on series point.
Last player player standing.
MIBR just misunderstanding how to play that. They've got to spam that cove down immediately.
Especially with 3 guns.
They can't see it there, but they can hear it go down. And they just don't recognize. They don't really see it in this case. Breaking only when they get to half already. And then the high tide just lasts so long. And they've actually used so many of the ults in the last couple of rounds. The lockdown there, they also used the Fade ult. He did not even get a showstopper on that round because he didn't even die at the end of it.
That timer's suspiciously frozen at 20. Very interesting. How would Ball in the Tub analyze what's happening now?
He's a special man, that one.
He
I haven't seen him in a while. Thankfully, it's not a tech timeout. Or
did a couple of moments ago. Heat 1 point away from having the showstopper online.
I was mentioning it because he had 2 rounds where he was 1 point off.
Yeah.
So maybe it should be a factor here for them. And it's not going to be a fast round called. Not going to be a gambit. They did find a pocket behind that high tide where they can work against this potential mid push coming from Loud, but they haven't even explored that option.
Yeah, they really haven't.
When you talk about a buffer for Loud, 5 rounds that they have match point.
Dude, the high tide mid, the Viper wall mid, and now the Cascade mid, and then the alarm bot on the other side of it. Layers to this stuff.
Sadok with a pit as well. Tui's in a position as well where throw one more Cascade into the front of B. Not going to even need to do that though, because of Aspas and Kalanzin regrouping right now. He uses it towards Garage. So much information. This Viper wall goes up. They clear behind. It's going to drop. And you've got a flank brewing. Sadok's going to pit. Yep.
In short.
I love this. He just falls back. Molly's long, gets back into the pit. They don't have the tools right now, and they are completely surrounded. Oh! Careful there.
Troublesome. Miri's finding 2. Kalanzin having throw it in reverse. Having to back on up.
Left.
And off of that, MIBR get the space, and now they're going to rotate away. They won't have to deal with the pesky pit.
Oh, Alarmbot was down as well. Sadok could have gotten a flank off. Breach ults, Kalanzin close.
Are they going to clear him out? Yep, he's spamming. They know he's there and clean him up. Sadok on the opposite side of the action.
10 seconds left.
Incredibly well handled.
Planted.
There were some pitfalls there. That could have been disastrous for MIBR. That mid push that went down in the middle of it. And I think actually Loud went a little not cautious enough there. They get the smoke off and Kalanzin wants to get by fast. I think as well. He did get away, but his teammates both fall.
MIBR hanging around. Heat now has that ult. And they're all stacked up C. But note the pings. You just saw them on the minimap down the middle of the map.
Placing swamp grenade.
Still concerned that there's going to be more pressure, and they're partially right. It's not down mid, though. It's down A. Once again, A main in control of Loud. Paranoia and the mollies. Les having to back up. Fine, not great for the defensive side.
Placing alarm bot.
Oh, spike planted.
This feels very reminiscent of the round we saw a couple of moments ago where Loud were able to push them off and then just die to the spike.
Also could have been that cove moment too.
Yeah.
They're gonna try for this. Still have a couple of sheriffs. Everybody playing on site though, they know the difficulties they had when they pushed them off.
I wonder if Les can find the timing. He used the ult. Securing the round. A little bit of insurance, if you will.
Had to get it off at some point. But you're wondering if it could have been better used on a gun round.
Enemy remaining. Flawless.
When they need to string in a bunch of gun rounds.
Yep.
Back to back now. As Loud's loss bonus gets up there. You
wonder here if there'll be a play for Tui's. somehow to get the reckoning.
Yeah. Could definitely do that down long, especially given the fact that MIBR has been a lot more cautious in A lobby than they probably even have to. They can be taking that duel much more, like, I guess they're worried about Aspas at any point picking up an op. Nobody on Loud had the money for it though this round. They did use, I mean, that cascade blocks both sides. Did he cheat for the orb? No.
Dropping spike.
Less with the ult and the setup on A. MIBR have worked their way up, but they haven't gotten past the utility yet. Sees to clear the cubby. Heat going forward off the fault line. Turret gonna spot some info. Spot some presence of the attacking side.
You called out the lockdown.
Bomb buddy out.
Les has it. He's staying up heaven, and I think he's trying to counter the possibility of Heat, who has not used his nade. You saw he was already lining up in Graffiti to throw it down in the regular spot. Satchel up there. Oh, this nade is short.
Oh, it's just, oh, he does clear it out. I thought it was just around the corner. Lockdown no longer in play. The paranoia and the flash traded. Is MIBR keeping them back for now? But what can Aspas do? Procs the dash, goes up top, looking for more, but there's literally somebody right behind him. Another excellent hold from MIBR. JZZ, the hero.
That pace from Loud. They get ahead of themselves. Aspas with the 2 kills, he thought he was feeling himself, but they don't clear the cubby. The cubby that was given to them by their own high tide. Look at him, right behind it. Oh my goodness.
Betrayed by his own cover. And now, once again, Loud broke.
Where are you?
How much?
Stack up ult orbs here, though.
Bomb buddy out.
They've got that reckoning now. They've got the Seekers, too. Those retakes can come even faster.
Yeah, the question is, do they invest it here? Do they just try to get as many guns out of MIBR as possible, maybe? And then they just have so much money.
One down.
It's another one of these rounds where Aspas has knives, and they're investing a little bit around it just in case he can get something going. And last round, I mean, the 2 kills that he got fast. And MIBR, I mean, they are reading this game now.
Yeah, they are.
They are understanding what is happening.
No flank this time from Loud. Aspas the only one who was close by.
Spike
Gonna
planted.
join up with the rest of his team as they attempt this retake onto A.
They're going to use a high tide in the middle of the site here to get in the back.
Yeah, he has updraft. He's gonna try to get over the top. He is, and he's gonna spot one. Heat down. How much more do they invest?
Aftershock, they're getting through this. High tide still is going to isolate the one player underneath, RGL.
Time is short.
Oh,
And
great
Aspas
haunt.
is dead. Yeah, very good haunt. You're absolutely right. They choose to hang on to their big tools, the Reckoning, for now.
They're really relying on Aspas a lot to try to find an opening back in some of these retakes, and they're relying on the retakes, I mean, immensely, over and over and over. And we got it. MIBR on the verge of bringing back, what was it, 5 rounds?
Yeah.
At its max. Against the runners-up of our most recent global LAN. The crazy part about this, guys, I think a lot of people would have put MIBR in like maybe the 8th to 10th position.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Out of this America's League, and Loud 100% at rivals. Especially if they take them down this early in Americas, especially if they break their streak.
Is it 21-0?
21-0.
That's crazy. For MIBR to be within striking distance of shattering that. I don't think anyone expected them to be in this position.
But the crowd understands they've got to get to OT first. They're asking for it. One more round. And we'll see if Loud actually pivots. It's been early on in this defensive half, they were relying on actually the holds. Ever since then, they've shifted to retake, 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 retake. And I think as the ults come online for them, that makes a lot of sense. However, it's been biting them.
We'll see if those retake tools are the difference maker here. Again, you were just alluding to them, but the Seekers and the Reckoning. So pivotal in these situations. Again, MIBR so close. I love you guys. And the crowd loved that.
C.
Shadow almost last pass. I thought for sure that was between his eyes. Not landing. Last shot. There's the Reckoning.
30 seconds. They get 2 picks so fast.
Oh,
It's all falling apart.
The flank is exposed. The alarm bot gives it away. Loud with the big numbers
Where are they
advantage
going?
here.
20 seconds. Where can you go? They've got to book it.
Every door shut. Not just in the round, but in the face of
10
upset.
seconds left.
They will manage to get the spike down, and now they have to hold in a 4v2 retake.
The space garnered, though. The space gained here from JZZ goes all the way A-Link, but they regroup and give up so much.
And they're cut off by the wall. Now blind as to what's on the other side. Sonic falls, yes, but so does RGL.
Cove's up on top of Les right now. He's got to spam it down, and there's no chance.
Not at all. Loud flirt with it, but for now.